I'm Hafsa Islam. I'm Rahel Islam's daughter.
I'm Riz Prakasam, one of the managers at Gandhi Mahal. Been there since 2008. The vision can be summed up in his phrase, fully fed communities. Fully fed community is a community that has all of its needs met physically, emotionally, spiritually, and psychologically. Fully fed also is grounded in relationships. How do we relate to our neighbors, to one another, and also to our environment? That's what a fully fed community looks like, and that's been our driving force. Gandhi Mahal originally was a vision by two brothers living in Bangladesh, so you can also say this is a story of the American dream as well. They started working in Indian restaurants, learning the trade, but also eventually when they had the opportunity to open their own restaurant, to utilize family recipes that were hundreds of years old that really were about bringing people together. It was one side of the building at first. Rahel ended up getting the other side, and we broke down that wall. And then there was a hair salon next door that also closed down. Rahel got that space and broke down that wall as well. There's also a theme here of breaking down barriers that divide us. We started to listen to our community, and the community said, yes, we want affordable, local food, but we also want to explore deeper relationships with the business owners that are in the area. And so that led Rahel to actually starting having a small spot in a community garden down the street. And then Rahel was like, okay, what can we do now? And he said, I heard about this thing called aquaponics, aquaculture. Maybe we can do that. And so we started experimenting with that at a very small scale at first, and then started to fine tune it. And eventually we had an aquaponics, aquaculture set up in our basement, in which we were the first restaurant in the entire Midwest to have an aquaponics, aquaculture operating inside the boundary. So basically what we could do is walk downstairs, we can catch some tilapia, bring it upstairs, cook it up. But in addition, we could also get lettuce, tomatoes, chilies. It was just all came from conversations and wanting to do better. Rahel made the conscious decision to move to recyclables and compostables before that was codified in law in Minneapolis. Another thing that we did as we continued to look out and to adapt to our environment by asking questions, constantly asking, how do we do better? What's available to us? We actually put in 2 beehives on the roof to, one, get hyper-local honey, but also to bring back the pollinators as well as a pollinator population.
My very, very first memory of Gandhi Mahal was before it was even open, and it was just my dad and my mom and me and my siblings. And he had one of those spray guns for the paint, and he was starting to paint the restaurant that orange color. And that's my very first memory, and he asked my mother for her saris. So he then started decorating with her old saris, and I remember just kind of it all getting built together. None of that would have been possible without my mother, and that's someone that doesn't get enough credit when we're talking about Gandhi Mahal, and if she didn't invest into my father, none of this would have happened. I just want to say, I just want to make sure that I'm giving light to a very important woman in all of this. Not only was it her investment in my father, but she took care of us while he was working 90, 100-hour weeks, to make this happen and to, really get Gandhi Mahal to where it got to be.